An APC House of Representatives candidate for the Aninri, Awgu, Orji River Federal Constituency, Vin Martin Obiora Ilo, has raised the alarm over alleged plans by the Enugu State Chairman of the All Progressives Congress to substitute his name. He is calling for an urgent intervention by the party's national chairman, Senator Abdullahi Adamu. Well, yesterday, we had Mr. Ilo on the program to air his grievances. Today, for her right to reply and to get the other side of the story, we have in the studio Claire Ilo, who is the factional APC candidate of the Aninri, Awgu, Orji River Federal Constituency in Enugu State. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. First, let's clear the air here, because people listening are wondering why you're coming to clear the air. We had a Mr. Ilo yesterday, and we have you, Claire Ilo, today. Are you related?
No,
you're not related. Great. So to the conversation.
He's not your husband too?
Of course not. I get that all the time. No, he's not.
They're not related.
Yes.
So let's start this conversation. Was there a primary election on the 27th of May this year for this position?
Yeah, first of all, let me thank you for an opportunity to be here and to represent women across the globe who feel oppressed and suppressed because of their gender, and who feel that some feel entitled. Here, there's no faction, and when we say factional, there is no faction. APC is APC. Whether you are contesting any level of election in the APC, there's no faction.
That's
it's
not
APC.
the impression we got yesterday from Mr. Ilo. So was there a primary election on that day?
Coming to your question.
And who won it?
Coming to your question.
Yes.
There was no, the election was marred by irregularities. Number one, there was no proper accreditation, thuggery, fighting, everything, and it was disrupted. And at the end of the day, the election was for rerun.
Okay.
And which was held on the 28th of May. And we had 185 delegates accredited, and 2 was voided, which left us with 183, and I won that election with 155 votes against his vote of 28. So having emerged the winner, I understand that sometimes it's difficult for some people to accept defeat, especially when they felt is a lady and a woman in that matter. And most time people feel that they are entitled because perhaps their position, perhaps they felt that money can do it all. But in this situation, we're here to say no, it's not the situation here. And sometimes people are in denial of that fact, that they lost an election. So to put the record straight, in any situation, we've had the election and I emerged a winner. And I commend him for participating and doing, and I also appreciate my constituency for that vote of confidence in me to represent them, because they understood that what happened in 2019 when he was given the mandate, they don't want it to repeat itself, where they come into the party and think is a trade. You buy the vote, you buy the mandate, and you sell the mandate.
Well, sorry, let me understand this properly, because there's a whole lot going on here. You did mention one held on the 27th of May, another took place on the 28th.
I told you there was no, it was
marred.
Yes, and we had that, and we had gone over that.
Okay.
So what is going on now?
And the next one happened when?
On the 28th.
Okay, that's just exactly almost the next day. Now, according to him, he says his election was endorsed by the House of Representatives primary election panel for Enugu State, supported by an affidavit deposed by the chairman of the panel at the Federal High Court, Abuja. He also mentioned that the Enugu State House of Representatives Election Appeal Committee, headed by Ben Etiaba, also upheld the election that took place on the 27th of May as the APC candidate. And the INEC, DSS, Nigerian Police also witnessed this particular election. Are you saying that with all the endorsements mentioned so far, it was null and void?
And if I will bring to your own recollection of what he also claimed, that I signed a withdrawal. Is a withdrawal supposed to be for somebody who lost election or somebody who won election?
Apparently, not you signing a withdrawal. The story, or rather his account, is that they were using you to hold the position pending a substitution window when you will be made to sign a withdrawal form.
No, this thing had stated that I signed a withdrawal form, which wasn't true. And if you understood, if you go back to this thing, they had come into the primaries with thugs, with fighting, destruction of life, people's property, and you understand how passionate we are as women to make sure we protect the mass.
No, but and INEC actually witnessed this disruption with thugs. And did they approve that election?
I can't tell you what INEC witnessed or what they did not witness, but I can tell you what I witnessed and what happened that day. Because you see, it depends on where the spectator, where the person is at any given time. They will tell you exactly what happens, but I will tell you what I saw and what really happened that day, and which was reported by the election committee who were on site on that day. And then how can we now ignore the eyewitness account of what happened? So if all I can tell you is what I saw on paper. All I can tell you is what I saw as a person. But I cannot tell you what you saw, except to write it down and give evidence of what you saw. But what evidence had proven that this is what they saw? And if you come in and think that you can manhandle things because you're a guy, and because we don't have we think we are weak, no, we're not.
Okay. So, what name was sent to INEC today? Was it your name that was sent?
I don't think I'm privy to answer that question because I'm not.
So you don't even know if you're the candidate?
I am the candidate because I won the election, and the result, I have the result. And the result has been given out, showing that I won the election, and the INEC paper has been given out to me, and I filled the form and submitted it. So answering that question is something I will always tell you what I'm privy to, and what I can tell you, fact that I can defend. I cannot tell you what is there that I don't know. And that is why I want to refer us back to when we say you're winning an election, when you say you have a mandate, you have been given a mandate in 2009 when you jumped from PDP and came to APC, and then you abandoned your mandate, sold your mandate, and somebody had even challenged you to that. And say, if you say you want a mandate, you sent me to negotiate for this, and I did. If you deny it, open up, and I will give you the video. So the people have said, no, it's no longer going to be you because we trusted you. We gave you that opportunity to represent us, and you never did anything. Now let's try somebody else, and it's hard for you to accept. That is the one that I find difficult. Is it because I'm a woman or what?
All right. Well, thank you very much, Claire Ilo, the Factional APC Candidate, Aninri, Awgu, Orji, River Federal Constituency of Enugu State.